start with some familiar names. The Liverpool side with Bruce Grobbelaar in goal. Familiar back four indeed now that Mark Lawrenson has returned after his recent injury. In midfield, the big new influence there, I suppose, is Kevin MacDonald, the man they bought from Leicester. Dalglish returns after a European suspension to join Ian Rush. Now, what about Barnsley? Well, they've got Clive, formerly with Norwich City. Wayne Goodison, a 20-year-old central defender, comes in at left back for the suspended Nicky Law. In midfield, nobody's going to work harder than Billy Ronson, formerly with Blackpool, Cardiff and Wrexham. And up front, Stephen Agnew, who scored the vital first goal at Southampton, keeps his place. Only his sixth full appearance for the club. Well, Jimmy may have been a little whimsical about the Barnsley side. I can tell you at Southampton, they looked a very good team unit indeed. And well deserved their win that day, as Laurie McMenemy was one of the first to admit. And there's Ron Butcher, the number 9, an identical twin brother, Paul, who wears the number 6. I must say, it'll be a nightmare for commentators, but then my mind is eased by the fact that Barnsley players themselves say that they can hardly tell them apart, and that manager Bobby Collins often gets them wrong. Larry May, big central defender they bought from Leicester City. Had a fine game at Southampton. And there's the other Butcher, Paul Butcher. And we're just about ready to start now. Liverpool then get us away in an all-yellow strip, attacking the goal to our right. With Barnsley in red shirts and white shorts. That was Wayne Goodison getting the ball into touch. And the referee, Colin Downey from Hounslow in Middlesex. The first time he's been to Oakwell. Well, this is Stephen Agnew, the man who made such an impression at Southampton and scored that first goal. In goes Butcher. It's a glaring day here, really, in South Yorkshire. With, as Jim said, a lot of rain since about 10 o'clock this morning. A slippy pitch, and really, Ron Atkinson, all the ingredients for an exciting cup tie.
Yes, very much so. When you say a slippy pitch, Brian, I think the pitch is in perfect condition. I think
an excellent pitch, yes.
Yes, it will certainly suit Liverpool's passing style. And then when Jimmy was on about the Barnsley side, you know, they've got plenty of players that have played at the top level, so, you know, they've got nothing to lose. So, as you say, I think there will be a cracking game in prospect.
This is Joyce, the right back, cleared by Hansen. And Paul Butcher will get it back to his goalkeeper, Clive Baker. Clive, who had some 7 years at Norwich, he was a Norfolk boy, this goalkeeper. Was kept out of the side by Kevin Keelan and then by Chris Woods. Ron Butcher hoping to get underneath this one. Quinn Thomas also in. Back by Gordon Owen. Now here's MacDonald, the new power in midfield for Liverpool. Dalglish. For the game up here, and a tremendous atmosphere inside Oakwell. It's Joe Joyce, the right back with the throw. Agnew finding Larry May. This is Wayne Goodison. He's normally a central defender, but Bobby Collins says he's quick and he's determined, and that's why he's in left back today. A free kick then to Barnsley, the foul by Lawrenson on Ron Butcher. To be taken by number 4, Billy Ronson. Goodison towards Butcher, and Grobbelaar getting it, loses it! Off the post, but the whistle had gone. But an early warning there for Liverpool. The challenge by Quinn Thomas judged to be unfair after Goodison had played a long ball in there. Butcher's challenge on the keeper. Quinn Thomas getting their header in against the post, but the whistle had already gone. Wet and cold here in Barnsley, and Ian Rush was saying just before the game, identical conditions to the ones they had in Vienna on Wednesday when they drew 1-1 in the European Cup. Now this might be interesting for Barnsley, just outside the Liverpool penalty area. They have a little system, Barnsley, where they put 2 men in front of the ball and rely upon Gordon Owen, who strikes a tremendous ball. Billy Ronson and Winston Campbell will stand. We'll see them just in front of that ball. As they rightly say, it only gives the goalkeeper a chance of a sight of it at the very last moment. There they are, then the 2 Barnsley players lined up in front of it. Gordon Owen striking it just over the top. It's a good play, that one.
Yeah, neat little free kick. Always feel in that situation, though, the guy that's hitting the ball has got to be on target. You've got chances of rebounds, you've got chances of a parry off the keeper. And I feel sure the lad probably feels he should have done better. Hit it with plenty of power, though.
Dalglish, Joyce. Looked like a handball. Well, it must have been a shove in the back before the handball by Ron Futcher, because Barnsley get another free kick. Brother Paul comes up to take the kick. Shot to Owen. Goal kick. Oh, they're getting in a few shots wrong.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad controlled effort, wasn't it? I don't think Bruce was quite as happy with that as he may have appeared to be. They're playing some neat control football at Barnsley. Liverpool are setting off with their familiar pattern of trying to kill the game, slow the game down with their passing qualities and kill the crowd off.
Big black dog on the field. About to tackle Alan Kennedy. McDonald. Now the old boy's still on the field there, thoroughly enjoying himself, but how anybody in their right senses can bring a dog like that onto a cup tie occasion like this, I don't know. Go on over the fence and get away with it. That's it. Well, dog lovers everywhere will hope that he's well looked after. I'm sure he is. Shoving the back on Future, but Lawrence invites us out here. St. Joyce. Owen. Ron Futcher. And another free kick. You shouldn't give away too many free kicks in this sort of area with a dead ball kicker like Gordon Owen around. So 3 in the Liverpool wall. Owen with the kick, hitting it straight to the wall, hitting it back again and over the top. Goal kick. Barnsley got here with home ties against Reading and Brighton. Not much to spare there. And a victory last Monday at Southampton after they'd gone a goal down with a Steve Moran goal. And Liverpool, of course, having beaten Villa comfortably 3-0, and then in our televised game, Spurs 1-0, and then a great battle at York 1-1, and then finishing York off in grand style at Anfield. Well, walks after this one. Rush is there too. Neil trying to get it in for Walk, succeeds. The Black Dog's back again, and the shot by MacDonald is over the top. Oh, he's having a good run. Thoroughly enjoying it. But I would have thought once having got him back over there, it's a bit silly to... That's right, the firm arm of the law. It's a bit silly that he should have been allowed back again. Dalglish again. Liverpool throw. Neil in for MacDonald. Now for Rush. And now for Kevin MacDonald. And the flag again was up for an offside against Liverpool. Paul Futcher at the near post, flicked in for him to flick on, but it didn't quite work out that way. Phil Neal was there. And Thomas doing well. Now can Owen turn it back in once more? The cross is in there, and it's another corner.
Well, Barnsley are playing with a tremendous amount of composure. Normally against a side like Liverpool, you talk about working and hustling, particularly if you're the underdogs, but they're trying to play it around as if they're a First Division side themselves, and they're doing it very, very well at the moment.
Well, here comes another corner for them. Again, Gordon Owen. Playing again towards the near post. Gwyn Thomas. Oh, it nearly came for them. And Goodison with a shot just over. Well, they're causing one or two little flutters in that Liverpool defence. And with this sort of ricochet coming up here on, it could have gone anywhere, really, after Gwyn Thomas had turned it back in.
Yeah, this is a good little situation for the lad Goodison. Possibly if that had been the lad Owen, you know, he might have put them in the lead there.
But Barnsley doing well at the moment, all I can see.
Yeah, they're playing very controlled. I just wonder if they could throw a little bit more fire at Liverpool, a little bit more passion and a little bit more drive in the game, whether that might upset Liverpool a little bit more and get the crowd lifted.
Well, here's Thomas trying to do just that. Joyce backing him up from behind.
See, Brian, I think they've played some very, very controlled football, but I think the crowd are now watching it as opposed to supporting it. You know, I think they've got the advantage of the biggest crowd for ages, and I think they need to try and lift the crowd a little bit to get right behind them.
That's a good point. MacDonald. Well, here Liverpool with Whelan, now with Dalglish, and suddenly a chance opens up for them as Nicol comes through, and, well, the Liverpool fans were looking for a penalty. Steve Nicol certainly was looking for one, and I must say at first glance, they appeared to have a case, but Colin Downey, the referee, turned away, and Barnsley breathe again. Ron?
I didn't think so at the time, funnily enough. I thought it looks as if he was going to chop him and then just didn't quite make...
At the other end, Ron Pritchard trying to come through, claiming a handball, again turned down.
I'm not quite sure about that, having looked at it again, Brian.
You think it may have been?
It may possibly have been. The only thing against it was Nicol appeared to have overrun the ball into the keeper's hands.
Kennedy with the free kick. Very positive play there by Joyce, but it's Liverpool's throw. It really didn't give Ronson much of a chance. Butcher getting it away, now Billy Ronson. Such a little worker. But again, he's got caught in possession by Nicol that time. It's Whelan trying something from long range.
I think Liverpool will be very, very happy the way the game's gone. They've played with plenty of control. The tempo hasn't got very high, which is always going to suit Liverpool. And I feel sure, as I say, that Bobby Collins will be getting onto his men now. They've done terrific in the first half. Now they've got to go up a couple of gears now to try and win it.
Right, 0-0 at half-time then here at Oakwell. We're going to take a break, and after it we'll see what Ian St John, Jimmy Greaves and Jim Rosenthal have got to say. Barnsley 0, Liverpool 0. Well, it's Barnsley then who'll get us away at the start of the second half. 0-0. They attack the goal to our right, looking for a place in the FA Cup semi-finals. Whelan making an early break for Liverpool. Ron Atkinson, who's up here with me, interesting to hear both Ian and Jimmy saying that they thought Liverpool weren't playing that well. I think you agree, but basically it's up front where they're not playing well.
Yes, I think what they're probably meaning by that is the fact that Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush, both for them, had quiet games. The game hasn't really come their way at all, but they haven't really made the impact on the game that one normally expects from them.
Rush dispossessed there by Billy Ronson. MacDonald. Now Goodison. There's Larry May going in. And now Lawrenson to Hansen. Hasn't reached as yet any great peaks of excitement, but it's a well-contested cup tie, and so far not a trainer on the field. cross coming in again. And Rush. Well, something like him.
Yes, he was always falling back though, Brian, and to be fair, Paul Future put him under a lot of pressure. That wasn't as simple a situation as possibly people might think it was.
The noise that's coming up is from the Liverpool fans as they continue to press forward. It's with Dalglish. And Rush! A mistake by the keeper. A devastating blow then for the second division team. It didn't really appear to be a great deal of danger. And Clive Baker, just having got hold of it, couldn't keep it. As Dalglish crossed it in. Rush is lurking. And Liverpool in the lead. Corner off Agnew. Quarter now, the second half gone. Liverpool leading in this sixth round FA Cup tie by a 1-0. Ian Rush the scorer. Here's Dalglish. And just wide again from Rush. Brilliant work by Dalglish. I thought for a moment the ball had gone out of play, but he somehow kept it in. Whipped in a wicked cross here. Good play by Dalglish. Just kept it in, as you can see. Flying header there by Rush, just wide of the post. So Winston Campbell with it. Now Billy Ronson looking for an angle and an extra yard. Sticks one in there, and it came off Ron Futcher. And now for Agnew. Played across there, and for a moment Liverpool were in a little bit of trouble. And would have been in deep trouble if Agnew's pass had found Ron Futcher.
Yeah, I would have said that was their best chance, Brian. If the boy could have, if his first touch had been right, he'd rather lost control a little bit here. I think he'd been setting himself up for a shot at goal.
Comes the corner. Oh, my goodness, it just fell over Ron Futcher's head, and Grobbelaar was struggling for a moment there. And here's Paul Futcher. Now Joe Joyce towards Grobbelaar. Good spell this for Barnsley, Ron.
It is, but I can't understand for the life of me. They just had a free kick there. They're chasing the game. Their best header of the ball, Larry May, stays back. I would have thought now is the time to throw him in there and say, come on, let's toss a few balls up to him and let's see if we can scramble something out of them.
As it is, Warp takes possession now for Liverpool. And now Neil. Here's MacDonald. Agnew, playing it on for Futcher. Now the break is on for Gordon Owen. He's got Kennedy coming back, still with Owen in there. Crossed in there, touched away by Grobbelaar. Good break again by Barnsley.
Brilliant run by the lad there. One or two people may say he should have gone for the back stick or crossed it to the back stick. I don't really think he had a chance. I think that Kennedy was angling off to such an extent he had to just fire the thing in and see what happened. Notice that Bobby Collins is warming up his sub now, Stuart Gray. Who's another midfield player. I wonder whether, in fact, he's thinking of pulling off one of his defenders and trying to bolster up the midfield and push the left winger on.
Ron Futcher in a bit of trouble at the moment. Stuart Gray, of course, had a good spell at Nottingham Forest. And knows a bit about the big time. Once played in a World Club Championship for Forest.
To be fair, Brian, he looked as if when he first got in the Forest side, he was going to be a very good player, didn't he? Came in and then he had a bad injury for a long while, didn't he?
And hasn't played now, in point of fact, for about in the first team for 15 months because of a bad back injury.
That's right. I remember them once they played him left full back against us. I think when Brian Clough sold Frankie Gray, he was toying with the idea of making him a permanent left back for him.
Well, here's Larry May for Barnsley. A bit too short that for Billy Ronson. And Rush. Poked back again. Well, it's there. And Whelan. Well, Johnny Whelan gets the second, and what a bizarre goal that was. They looked as though they'd given it away. They looked as though they'd saved it. And then Barnsley gave it away again. Billy Ronson's back pass is what started it. Rush looked as though he'd taken it too wide. And now just look at this. Cannon back off Goodison, And as he stumbled, Ronnie Whelan put it into the back of the net.
Brian, if you don't win when that's going through, you'll never win a game, will you? I mean, the two goals have been really comic cuts goals.
Here's Owen again for Barnsley. And Lawrenson comfortably away. Joyce playing it in. And now Ron Futcher! Oh! Right against Oakwell. There was a great chance of the equaliser there.
Brilliant goalkeeping though, Brian. Superb goalkeeping, but he should really have made it pay.
Ronson. Played towards Gwyn Thomas. And a corner for Barnsley. I think Barnsley about to make their substitution. Stuart Gray coming on and Stephen Agnew coming off.
Before the game, I bet they looked at this, and they're well steeped in all the big games and everything. They'll have looked at this game as a very awkward, tricky fixture. And I would imagine if you'd have said to Joe Fagan before the kick-off, will you take a draw and come back to Anfield on Wednesday, they're well settled for it.
Well, there's still about 12 minutes to go. Liverpool now with a cushion of a 2-goal lead. Rush and Whelan the scorers. MacDonald now coming through. And just pushed wide by Baker. MacDonald, who hasn't scored for Liverpool since he joined them from Leicester.
He deserves one today. For me, definitely has been my man of the match.
And Baker just finger-tipping it round. MacDonald, as you can see, yet to score an FA Cup goal. He wasn't so far away from it, 24 years old. Walk. Now Nicol leaving it for Phil Neal. Dalglish, the touch for MacDonald. Here he is again. It's a good ball. And played in nicely for Rush. And now for Dalglish. And now for Rush! You will not find a better goal than that.
Now that was Liverpool at their best. Some superb one-touch passing. They lit the ball at the end through the gap with Ian Rush's 1-2. Brilliant. And a superb piece of finishing. He made it look dead easy at the end, didn't he? But to be perfectly honest, that is the mark of a master finisher.
Superb stuff.
He's lifted it over the keeper.
Look at that. Little flick out with the left foot. Well, here's Rush again. Dalglish. Play on, a good advantage that time played by the referee. Dalglish finding MacDonald on the score sheet for the first time, perhaps. No, but playing it back and getting a corner. Talk so glowingly about Kevin MacDonald, and then people start talking about the new Graham Souness, or the influence that Souness has had. Is it going to be that sort of player? Just a moment, Ron. Let's see what Kenny Dalglish is going to do here first. There's MacDonald playing it back for him, but a little too firm.
Yes, he's fitted into their pattern of play, the way Souness used to. I mean, to sort of start calling him the new Souness is a little bit much for anybody at the moment. But he holds his position well. His passing's good. And what's more important, he enables the other three midfield players to go off on forward runs. I mean, Walker's playing with a lot of freedom. Remember, before he came into the side, there was a lot of talk about Walker could possibly be out the side and could be leaving the club. Now, I mean, Walker just goes off on bombing raids every time they have it from the back, and has scored any amount of goals. To be fair, he's also had an awful lot of space to play in this afternoon, but having said that, he's used it very, very well.
Yes, a masterful second-half performance. But suddenly a mistake by Lawrenson, and Futcher is through. And Oakwell was equal to it. And that's almost a collector's item there. A total lack of concentration just for a moment by Mark Lawrenson. And very nearly a consolation goal for Barnsley. 3-0 down. Owen. Neil away. Paul Futcher. Ronnie Whelan leaving it to Nicol. Now with Walk, and now with Nicol. and a goal kick.
Yeah, the game's fun to play now for Liverpool, isn't it? They've got all the time in the world, all the space in the world. Everybody's bombing all over the place now, and they're going to enjoy these last few minutes.
Dalglish looking to get away, stumbled, got himself up, played a lovely ball in for Rush. His hat-trick!
He is absolutely unbelievable. Once again, look, the simplest of chances looked as if he couldn't miss, but that's the mark he is. He just takes them and makes it look all so easy. Great play by Dalglish.
Unbelievable finishing there by Ian Rush. The hat-trick man, and Liverpool now go 4-0 up. And Lawrenson carefully back. Talking earlier about Liverpool be pleased to avoid Manchester United, and you'll be pleased to avoid them, but in fact the semi-finals are beginning to shape up with real quality teams in them all around.
Yes, that's right, Brian. I mean, when the draw was made, I think a lot of people were looking at Liverpool, Everton, ourselves, and maybe Luton or Watford, and one doesn't, you don't know what's going to happen at Ipswich. I mean, they did a great job yesterday. You don't know what's going to happen there, but it could certainly be, three of those teams could certainly be there.
Well, Dalglish and Liverpool have given us a quality second half here at Barnsley, leading 4-0, and plucked out of the air by Baker from Steve Nicol as the final whistle goes. And Liverpool are through to the semi-finals with Ian Rush, a brilliant hat-trick in the second half, Ronnie Whelan the other one. We hope to be having a word with Rush and with McDonald after the break.
The reward for the hat-trick hero, the match ball, Ian. I think it's your 9th for your collection. 9 hat-tricks for Liverpool. Where do you keep them?
We've got a couple at home, so my mum and dad look after them. They clean them with all the medals, so I'll find a place for this anyway.
Your first hat-trick in the FA Cup. Does that mean something special for you?
Oh, it's always nice to score goals, but in the FA Cup it's a bit special, and to score 3 goals, it's my first hat-trick in the FA Cup, and I was really pleased. But I thought the lads done tremendously well, and especially Kenny and all the midfield. I thought they played great today.
Well, we've got a chance to show you the second goal of your hat-trick, which we felt was the best goal of the game. Rapid into passing.
Yeah, I've seen Kevin there get the ball to Nicol. Nicol shouted at me and played me first time, then Kenny shouted at me there, and I just made the run again, and Kenny put a great ball, and I seen the keeper coming, so I just lobbed it over him and just went in the side net, and simple as that, really.
But Ian, despite your hat-trick, Ron Atkinson has made the man alongside you the man of the match. Kevin, did you enjoy it this afternoon?
It's always nice when you win. That's us in the semi-final now, so very enjoyable.
How have you found settling into the role that's been labelled as Graham Souness's role, but I know that you don't like to call it that?
No, it's obviously very difficult, but the way the lads are playing, it's made it a lot easier for myself. If we just keep on winning, we'll do all right.
What you have to put up with here at Liverpool, you're probably finding out, there's a lot of joking as well with Ian Rush trying to distract you there, but seriously, Ian, Kevin coming into the midfield has brought a bit of a balance back.
Yeah, I think Kevin holds midfield well, and he's getting stuck in today, right? But I think a lot of people were surprised because he had a shot today. he's no scoring. The lads have all been going on about him that he hasn't scored, but he did have a shot today, but it trickled round and the keeper just stepped out for the corner. But he's due a goal, and I'm sure he'll get one soon.
With you in the side, I don't think anybody else has the score, lads. Thanks very much indeed.